Good morning, hello, and welcome to This Date in History, aka TDH. This show is all about the events that occurred on this date in years past, both recognized by other historians, but mainly things we personally find intriguing enough for us to bring to you. The sources of this information come from the smart device application Today in History, What Happened Today in History, Historical Calendar, and the website onthisday.com. For links to those sources, the music, and anything else potentially interesting, check the underbar of the description below. Anyway, I am Eozander, and you are you. Today is... what is today? Freya's Day, aka Friday, April 7th, 2023. So let's get into the history today, shall we? Scholars estimate for Jesus' crucifixion by Roman troops in Jerusalem, or April 3rd. So I guess that's old style, I'm not entirely sure. So this is, well, actually between April 3rd and now is when they believe that Jesus was executed on the cross. And, like, that made me think, like, because today is Good Friday, as the Christians and Catholics say and everything, and I'm wondering, why would they call it Good Friday when it's the anniversary of the death of their Savior? You think they'd call it something like Bad Friday. I don't know. Anyway, let's move on up to 451. Attila the Hun captured and plundered Metz in northeastern France, murdering most of its inhabitants and burning the town. That's not too nice. 529 got the first draft of Corpus Juris Civilis, fundamental work in jurisprudence, issued by Eastern Roman Emperor Justinian I. So what is jurisprudence, you may ask? Well, let's check that out here. The theory or philosophy of law. All right. Well, let's see. Let's start developing an underbar description link set for to add it after the stream, so people can go read on those things in their own time. Moving on up to 1118, we got Pope Gelasius II was excommunicated by Henry V, Holy Roman Emperor, forcing him to flee Rome and rule in exile. Yikes. 1141, we got a not on primary script here, NOPS. Empress Matilda became the first female ruler of England, adopting the title Lady of the English. Alright, so that's pretty cool. I don't know why that's not in the primary script. That's, like, with how everything is going, with all the feminists and everything, you'd think that that would be, like, in blaring, red colors, and like, hey, look at this! Anyway, 1348, Prague University, first university in Central Europe, was formed / chartered by Holy Roman Emperor Charles IV. Alright. I don't know why there's a double space there. That's weird. No. Another NOPS here, 1149, Felix V abdicated his claim to the papacy, ending the reign of the final anti-pope. And what is an anti-pope? What was the anti-pope? Because we've spoken about the anti-pope often on this show. An anti-pope is a person who makes a significant and substantial attempt to occupy the position of Bishop of Rome and leader of the Catholic Church in opposition to the legitimately elected pope. So someone who's trying to force their way in. Alright. Well, that would make sense. Why did I open paint? There we go. Let's see. Let's move on up. What else do we have here? 1509, France declared war on Venice. Alright. 1521, Portuguese navigator Ferdinand Magellan's fleet reached Cebu. Okay. 1645, Michael Cardozo became the first Jewish lawyer in Brazil. Well, that's interesting. I didn't even realize that they recorded that, but I mean, like, apparently they do, 1712, slave revolt in New York killed 6 white men, 21 African Americans were executed, 21 black U.S. citizens, because the term African American makes no sense. Elon Musk is whiter than chalk, and he's an African American, so why do we use it to describe people's color? Just go back to the way it was. 1739, Dick Turpin executed in England for horse stealing. Yeah, well, don't steal people's horses. 1788, settlers established Marietta in Ohio, the first permanent settlement created by U.S. citizens in the recently organized Northwest Territory. Alright. 1795, France adopted the meter as a basic measure of length and the kilogram and gram as its primary units of mass. Cool. 1798, the Mississippi Territory was organized from disputed territory claimed by both the United States and the Spanish Empire. It was expanded later on in 1804 and again in 1812. Then in 1805, Lewis and Clark expedition, the Corps of Discovery, broke camp among the Mandan tribe. leaving Fort Mandan on the Missouri River near what is now Washburn in North Dakota, beginning and slash resuming their journey to the west to the Pacific Ocean. The reason why the beginning slash resuming, because the triple question mark means there's information from both the primary source and the secondary source I have on my phone, and one of them says resuming, one of them says beginning. So, yeah, that's a bit confusing. We got another Knops here. 1805, German composer Ludwig von Beethoven premiered his Third Symphony at the Theater an der Wien in Vienna. 1818, General Andrew Jackson conquered Spanish Fort Marcos, St. Mark's, in Spanish Florida during his pursuit of the Native American Seminole tribe in what became known as the First Seminole War. Yikes, Andrew Jackson, man, going after the natives. 1824, we got the first performance of Ludwig von Beethoven's Missa Solemnis in St. Petersburg, Russia. So, two Beethoven premieres. That's cool. 3 years later, in 1827, English chemist John Walker invented wooden matches. All right. Thank you for the matches. 1831, Brazilian Emperor Dom Pedro abdicated, leaving his 6-year-old son, Dom Pedro II, head of state as Prince Imperial. All right, 6 years old and he's running a country. Kim Jong-un has nothing on this guy. 1853, Queen Victoria asked Jon Snow to administer chloroform during the delivery of her 8th child, Leopold, led to wider acceptance of obstetrical anesthesia. Yeah, Queen Victoria, the Victorian era was the beginning of a hell of a lot of, inventions and all that stuff during the Industrial Revolution, I believe. Yeah, that sounds about right, 1853. 53, I can't say three. Anesthesia, for surgeries, for childbirth and all that stuff, looks like it was probably not started by Queen Victoria, but she must have heard about it from somebody. But anyway, let's move on up. 1865, we got the Battle of Farmville, Virginia. The Facebook game was in the Civil War? What? Okay. 1868, Thomas D'Arcy McGee, one of the Canadian Fathers of Confederation, was assassinated by the Irish Fenian activist in one of the few Canadian political assassinations and only federal politician in Canada's history to be assassinated in office. 1890, completion of the first Lake Biwa Canal in Japan. All right. 1991, Nebraska introduced an 8-hour workday. Okay. 1901, SDAP demanded general voting rights, abolishing first chamber. So I have no idea what the heck that is. I present that as the first challenge to our viewers. Get in the comments section. What does this actually mean? What is the SDAP? What was the first chamber? You know what? Let's because that's going to require some significant digging. It doesn't tell us what country this is, what political system this is. So this requires a little bit of research. I'm going to move on up to 1902. Texas Oil Company, aka Texaco, formed. Okay, we all know about them. 1906, Act of Algeciras drawn between Moroccan police and banking business. All right, what was this? So let's check this out here. Act of Algeciras. Pardon me. The Algeciras Conference of 1906 took place in Algeciras, Spain, and lasted from January 16th to April 7th. Okay, so this is the end of it. Okay, so whatever this conference was, I'm going to put this in the underbar description for you guys later on. Let's move on up. 1906, we got a knob here. The Algeciras Conference gave France and Spain control over Morocco. Alright, so obviously these two are linked. This isn't linked though. 1906 as well, Mount Vesuvius erupted and devastated Naples. Yeah, well, move away from volcanoes. I know there's disasters everywhere. Out here on the West Coast, we have volcanoes, we have earthquakes. Now we have tornadoes, we have fire tornadoes. On the East they have, hurricanes and floods and all that stuff. But I mean, volcanoes, where they are. It's not like they're going to suddenly appear off the coast or something, for the most part. So anyway, 1919, first parcel of land was purchased for Cleveland Metro Parks. Alright, what is Cleveland Metro Parks? Let's look that up here real quick. Cleveland Metro Parks. Apparently there were some murders there. So that's a little concerning. But it's not telling us anything right here. Just All right, so let's just move on up. 1921, revolutionary leader Sun Yat-sen was elected president of China at Canton, though China remained divided into North and South and subject to rivalries of warlords. Not good.
Sounds familiar.
Yep. Welcome to the show, Mr. Soen. How you doing today?
Good.
Good. Uh, we are now up in 1922. I'm going to take this one here real quick while you're getting yourself situated. Warren G. Harding's Interior Secretary Albert B. Fall leased the Teapot Dome Federal Petroleum / oil reserves to Harry Sinclair's private oil companies on an excessively generous terms, setting in motion the Teapot Dome scandals. Yes, we've reported on these a couple of times as well, and that was a big one.
Mm-hmm.
So, but let's see here. 1923 got the first brain tumor operation under local anesthetic performed Beth Israel Hospital in New York City by Dr. K. Winfield Ney. Wow.
Nice. Also, I am here.
Yes, you are. We are going to get to 1926 here in a second. I have one more. The 1923 Workers' Party of America in New York City became official Communist Party. Yikes.
Damn.
Yeah, you got. I got one more. I'm sorry. 1926 in San Luis Obispo, California, a forest fire burnt 900 acres and killed 2 people. That sucks. Now it's your turn.
Yes, and we're gonna talk about people's least favorite Italian.
Hey, yep.
1926, Mussolini is shot 3 times by Violet Gibson in Rome. She only hits him in the nose. Hits him once in the nose.
Right in the schnoz.
Damn. Also, 1927, first long-distance television transmission and image of Secretary of Commerce Herbert Hoover sent from Washington, D.C. to New York City by AT&T. Damn, AT&T, you're doing well.
Yeah, transmitted specifically by AT&T engineer Herbert Ives.
Yeah.
1933, the Colin-Harrison Act came into effect. Prohibition in the United States was repealed for beer of no more than 3.2% alcohol by weight, 8 months before the ratification of the 21st Amendment to the U.S. Constitution. This is now celebrated as National Beer Day. Interesting. 1933 as well. First 2 Nazi anti-Jewish laws bars the Jews from legal and public service. Dang. So keep an eye out. Once they start doing that to people in this country, you'll start seeing, what's really going on. 1933, University Bridge, Seattle, open for traffic. All right.
Also, 1934, in India, Mahatma Gandhi suspends his campaign of civil disobedience. It's time to be obedient.
Yeah.
Okay, also, I'm going to skip golf because golf is boring.
Well, we have in 1939 here, Italy invaded Albania.
Nice.
Alright.
I'm going to skip golf.
Yeah.
1940, U.S. Post Office issues first postage stamp of African-American educator Booker T. Washington, not to be confused with WWE's wrestler Booker T. You won't be seeing Booker T. Washington doing the spin-a-rooney on his enemies.
That'd be interesting.
Yes, it would. Also,
I have one in 1941. British generals O'Connor and Niam captured in North Africa, so that's not good. So, because this is what we wanted you just to read the highlighted ones, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Also, 1943, Adolf Hitler and Benito Mussolini met for an Axis conference in Salzburg. I can imagine it. I like your outfit. Thank you. I got it from you. Hitler being an ass kisser. I got it from you.
Yeah, Mussolini didn't invent fascism. Hitler was but a student, then he became the master.
Yeah.
1943, British and U.S. troops made contact at Wadi Akert, South Tunisia. And then 1943 as well, the NFL adopted free substitution rule, helmets made mandatory, and 10-game schedule for all teams approved.
Good.
Yeah, and this was back when they still had the leather caps, so
yeah.
Any armor is better than nothing, but yeah.
They upgraded from leather to stone.
Yeah.
Oh,
Your turn
okay.
now.
Also,
1944.
1944, D-Day. World War II General Montgomery speaks to generals at St. Paul's School about his vision for the upcoming D-Day landings.
Ah. All right. So that was
Yeah.
before exactly they knew where they wanted to go and all that stuff. This was like the very first like, hey, we gotta start making preparations to land, in France. Where are we gonna go? Like, uh, there's a lot of stuff involving D-Day that I can just rattle off off the top of my head. But let's move on up
Yeah.
here. 1945, Battle of Okinawa, massive kamikaze attack of around 110 Japanese aircraft damaged 3 U.S. battleships off Okinawa Island. And while that was happening, U.S. planes intercepted the Japanese fleet heading for Okinawa on a suicide mission. The super battleship Yamato and 4 destroyers were sunk. So as we know, I don't know. I'm not sure if it was yesterday or the day before. I think it was the day before when the Yamato got orders to beach itself on Okinawa
Yeah, it was
Island.
yesterday.
Okay. We also have in 1945 Sonderkommando Elbe, special Luftwaffe units designed to destroy Allied planes by ramming them mid-air, were sent on their first and only mission of World War II. So the Germans were doing kamikaze attacks, as well, but against other planes. Could you imagine like flying your plane into another plane intentionally to like blow them up, knock them out? That's terrifying,
Here's
dude.
in the hole in the planes. Now kiss.
Yeah.
Now kiss.
Now kiss. 1946, part of East Prussia was incorporated into the Russian SFSR, which is weird because I thought Wilhelm I unified Prussia and the other city states and whatnot into a unified Germany. So I thought Prussia was already gone, but that's apparently not. So, but while that was going on, Syria's independence from France was officially recognized. All right. 1948, the World Health Organization was formed by the United Nations. Uh, Not good if what it became to be in today's world. No.
Yeah.
In 1951, American Bowling Congress began first Masters tournament. So I guess that's like the bowling form of like
Golf.
like the NBA, the NFL, the NHL, all that stuff. Like
Yeah.
their organization, the American Bowling Congress, ABC. Oh. But then 1953, we got the first west to east jet transatlantic nonstop flight. Cool. And here's one for you,
Nice.
1953 as well.
1953, UN General Assembly began session that will elect Dag Hammarskjöld of Sweden as Secretary General.
Huh. Yeah, you get the next one.
Okay, come on, scroll.
54, it's right
Also,
there.
in the conference of interest, 1954, U.S. President Dwight D. Eisenhower in news conference is first to voice fear of the domino effect of communism in Indochina.
Yep, he was right on the money with that. So,
Yeah,
1957, the last of New York's electric trolleys completed its final run. And we spoke about that yesterday, the last trolley system in New York City. So that's kind of sad.
that's
1958, Dodgers erected a 42-foot screen in left field at LA Coliseum to cut down on home runs, since it is only 250 feet down the line. So yeah, like they don't want people to like run too far to get the ball. Like, so they had to shorten the stadium or something a little bit, it sounds like. Anyway, 1959, Oklahoma ended prohibition after 51 years. Wow, that took them a while.
God damn, Oklahoma.
Yeah, 1959 as well, the radar was first bounced off the sun. It's from Stanford, California. That's wicked, dude. Can you imagine, like, like sending a radio wave and then receiving it back, after it bounces off the sun or the moon or, whatever.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Also, 1962, Yugoslav ex-president Milovan Jadic returns to jail.
All
He did
right.
not pass go. He did not collect $200.
Nope. 1963, public stock offering of 115,000 shares in Milwaukee Braves withdrawn after only 13,000 shares were sold to 1,600 new investors. Wow, so they couldn't even sell. That sucks.
Damn.
1963, Yugoslavia was proclaimed a socialist republic, um, joining the USSR there.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Also,
1964.
1964, Hugh Martin and Timothy Gray's musical High Spirits, based on Noel Coward's Bright Spirit, opens at Alvin Theater, New York City, runs for 375 performances.
Alvin! Anybody who watches
Uh,
Alvin and the Chipmunks.
I'm about to say, not that Alvin.
1966,
Oh.
not Yugoslavia, 1966, U.S. recovered a lost hydrogen bomb from the Mediterranean seafloor. Whoops. Woo, that's not good. And
Damn.
1967, Tom Donahue's San Francisco DJ began new radio format, Progressive KMPX FM. So I think that's the start of progressive radio stations.
Sounds like it. Also, ooh, horrible.
Yeah.
1968, riots continue over 100 U.S. cities following the assassination of Martin Luther King Jr.
Yeah, that was 2 days ago.
Yes.
1969, Dodgers' Bill Singer was credited with first official save against Reds. Okay, whatever save is, I don't know baseball. So, 1969, Supreme Court struck down laws prohibiting private possession of obscene material. Well, like, what are they doing? Kicking your door in? Like, oh, do you have any pornographic material under your mattress? Surrender it now. It'll be awarded of the state. So,
It's like, hey, can't open the milk for and no one gets hurt.
yeah.
Also, 1969, Ted Williams begins managing Washington Senators. They lose to Yanks 8-4.
Oh, that sucks. While that was happening,
yeah.
1969 as well, the Internet's symbolic birth date, publication of RFC1. So happy birthday, Internet.
Yeah. Also, 1970, the effect of gamma rays on the Man in the Moon Marigolds film, directed by Paul Newman and starring his wife Joanna Woodward, premieres in New York City. Wow.
Cool.
Gamma rays on the Man in the Moon.
And the man on the
Marigolds.
moon.
So this man got hit before David Banner.
Apparently.
for those in the audience who don't know, gamma rays, David Banner.
I don't.
Hulk.
Oh! Wait. I thought it was Bruce Banner. Dave Banner is his dad, right?
In the TV show. The TV show Hulk.
Oh.
David Banner.
Oh, so when did they change it to Bruce?
I don't know.
Huh.
I think it was Bruce. I don't know. It's one of them. But still, 1970. 42 Academy Awards, Midnight Cowboy, Best Picture, John Wayne, Drew Grit, and Maggie Smith. The prime of Miss Jane Brody wins. I've seen the Jeff Bridges one of True Grit.
Huh.
Not bad.
I haven't seen either of them. But while that was happening, MLB Milwaukee Brewers, formerly Seattle Pilots, had their first game, lost to the Angels 12-0. Ooh. Maybe they shouldn't have changed their name. They got their teeth kicked in.
Yeah. Also, 1971 dismissal of Kurt Flood's free agent suit against baseball is upheld by the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Second Circuit.
So he was trying to be a free agent, and
Yes.
and the Court of Appeals upheld it. So,
Also,
they
1971,
upheld the dismissal of it. That's not good.
Also, I know. Also, 1971, U.S. President Richard Nixon orders Cali My Lai free.
All right. Yeah, wherever My Lai is, he was ordering it to be free. Let's see here. 1972, 3 members of the Irish Republican Army, the IRA, died in a premature bomb explosion in Belfast. The first thing that comes to mind is that one scene from Saving Private Ryan when the guy's trying to put the sticky bomb on the tank and he took too long and turned into a fine pink mist. The 1975 preliminary meeting in Paris on world economic crisis between oil exporting, oil importing, and non-oil third world countries.
You know what that remind me of also?
Hmm.
The so-called Dozen Ways to Die, and he talked about a terrorist group that was setting up a bomb via satellite to go off at 12. And did they notice they forgot one little detail?
What?
Daylight savings time.
Oh no! Oh no!
Yes, it was set
Oh!
to 11. It was supposed to be an hour before it go off, but they forgot about daylight savings time,
Oh, rip!
and the shit went off.
Damn.
Okay.
76.
1976, Chinese Politburo fires Vice President Deng Xiaoping.
1977, Consumer Product Safety Commission banned TRIS, flame retardant. So,
Well, I'm guessing they caught flames.
apparently. 1977 as well, German federal prosecutor Siegfried Bubank and his driver were shot dead by two Red Army faction members starting the German Autumn. So let's look up the German Autumn real quick, because that's if they have a wiki, I want to post that. The German Autumn was a series of events in Germany in 1977, mostly late in the year, associated with the kidnapping and murder of industrialist businessman and former SS member Hans Martin Schreiter. Wow, this was former SS member. Wow, like why is he like still around? Anyway, 1977 as well. MLB Toronto Blue Jays first game. They beat Chicago 9-5. All right. 1978. The Gutenberg Bible sold for $2 million in New York City. What?
Sure. Okay. Oh, also 1978, the U.S. Court of Appeals upheld Commissioner Bobby Cole's voiding of attempted player sales by A's owner Charlie Finley in June 1967.
76.
Well, 1976. Also 1978, U.S. President Jimmy Carter defers production of neutron bomb.
Yep.
He looks like he looks like he sneezed and realized he shit his pants and doesn't want to let people know.
Oh no. My next one is 1980, so you have you can take these two more if you want.
Sure. 1979, Houston Astros kid force no hits Atlanta Braves 6-0, becomes his first brother. Become with his brother Bobby Force the only MLB siblings to accomplish defeat.
Wow.
Nice.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I mean, like like how many family members are in the same thing together? Like like in the same team, like siblings, like mother, father. Like.
Tiki Barber and Rondo Barber.
Yeah.
And the football, but they're not on the same team. They're in different teams. One was in Tampa Bay, and the other one was the Giants.
Ah. Well, that's cool. So the only MLB siblings to accomplish no hitting. Nice.
Yep. Also, 1979, Islanders Mike Bossy scores 4 goals against Flyers. Well, of course, they're in the air.
Huh. 1980, U.S. President Jimmy Carter broke relations with Iran during the hostage crisis. Of course.
Of course. 1981, Street Songs' 5th studio album by Rick James is released Billboard Album of the Year 1981. Of course, because he's Rick James, bitch.
Fuck your couch. I'm not
Rick
going to
James,
complete that
bitch.
quote. 1981, William Klein mentally extracted 13th root of a 100-digit number in 29 seconds. Wow. So like a square root, he did math in his head. 1983, oldest human skeleton aged 80,000 years discovered in Egypt. 1984, Detroit Tiger Jack Morris no-hit Chicago White Sox 4-0. Oof. 1985, first live telecast of Easter Parade in New York. Cool.
Oh, want me to go now?
Yeah, you want to do the WrestleMania?
Sure. 1986 WrestleMania 2 at 3 locations. Hulk Hogan beats King Kong Bundy. Mr. T beats Roddy Piper in a boxing match.
I pity the fool. In 1987, Al Campaigns, Dodger executive for more than 40 years, resigned after making racial remarks on Nightline. That's not good.
What you get, buddy?
Yeah, 1987 as well. National Museum of Female Physicians opened in Washington D.C. I didn't realize that was a thing, but I'm happy it is. In 1988, Russia announces it will withdraw its troops from Afghanistan. That was when they're occupying that place, their proxy war with us. So, and Mr. Soen, Farm Aid.
1990, Farm Aid 4 concert at Hoosier Dome, Indianapolis, Indiana includes Bonnie Raitt, John Mellencamp, John Hyatt, Carl Perkins, Arlo Gertie, Garth Brooks, Bruce Hornsby, Elton John, Lou Reed, Charles Mahal, Crosby, Hills, Nash and Young, Willie Nelson, Iggy Pop, and others. Wow.
Holy
First
crap.
time I haven't seen them mention Dave Matthews Band.
Yeah, but that is one hell of a lineup there.
Of course, they're helping farmers,
Yep. While that was happening in 1990 as well, a fire killed 110 people on a ferry in Norway. In an unrelated event, 30 people die in a ferry flip over in Burma. So 2 events of deaths. That's not good. In 1990 as well, John Poindexter, the U.S. National Security Advisor, was found guilty of 5 counts of lying to Congress and obstruction regarding the Iran-Contra scandal. Not good.
Never.
And
Good.
then 1991, Compton Gamma Ray Observatory orbited Earth. What? What is that? Do we have an observatory in space? What is that?
Compton?
Oh, it's a satellite. The Compton Gamma Ray Observatory was a space observatory detecting photons with energies from 20 keV to 30 GeV in Earth orbit from 1991 to 2000. The observatory featured 4 main telescopes and 1 spacecraft, converting X-rays and gamma rays, including various specialized sub-instruments and detectors. All right. For further reading on that, please refer to the underbar of the description below. The link to there will be there after the stream.
They were uploading NWA to space.
Oh God.
1990 traditional senior men's golf club at Desert Mountain. Jeff Nicholas wins his second of 4 event titles by 1 stroke from Jim Corbett, Jim Dent, and Phil Rogers.
I'm just sitting here thinking Tupac isn't dead. He's still being broadcast. Well, he was being broadcasted until the year 2000 from the Compton Gamma Ray Observatory. Then you got another one here.
Yep.
Yeah, this one's not good. So.
1994, beginning of the Rwandan genocide, the Presidential Guard begins killing moderate politicians and public figures in Kigali, including Prime Minister Agathe Uwilingiyimana.
Yeah, and I don't know where I saw it, but I saw somewhere the past 24 hours that upwards of 800,000 people were killed during the Rwandan genocide. That is outrageous.
Yep.
In 1994 as well, the Vatican commemorated the Holocaust for the first time with an orchestral concert in the Sala Nervi. Okay. Took them a while, but okay.
Mm-hmm.
You got some sports history here.
Yes. 1996, Sri Lankan Sitanet Jarasara hits fastest ODI 50 out of 17 balls for v Pakistan Singapore.
Cricket.
Oh, cricket.
1999, this one's weird. The World Trade Organization ruled in favor of the United States in its long-running trade dispute with the European Union over bananas. So what?
Man, talk about bananas.
2001, Mars Odyssey was launched.
2003, 37th CMT Flame-Worthy Video Music Awards. Toby Keith and Martina McBride win.
All right. You got the next 2.
Also, 2003, U.S. troops capture Baghdad's Saddam Hussein regime falls 2 days later. Operation Desert, the
Nope.
Operation Enduring Freedom.
Yep, there. That one. So
2005, head of government of the federal district, Andres Manuel Lopez Obrador, faces an impeachment process at the Mexican Congress.
dang. Wonder what he did.
Corruption, who knows?
Yeah. You got this next events of interest.
2009, former Peruvian President Alberto Fujimori is sentenced to 25 years in prison for ordering killings and kidnappings by security forces.
Why is he not
Now,
sentenced to death? Like,
25 ain't good enough.
yeah. 2012, actually no, 2009. You got that one. 2012, 130 Pakistani army soldiers were buried in an avalanche near the Siachen Glacier. Ah,
Damn,
man.
that sucks.
Yeah. 2013, 15 people, including 9 children, were killed by an airstrike on Aleppo by the Syrian Air Force. I remember that.
I remember hearing about that.
Yeah.
But
Aleppo rings a bell.
they don't tell you who is at fault, who signed it.
Yeah. Obama?
Yep.
Yeah.
Also in 2013, WrestleMania
28.
28, MetLife Stadium, East Rutherford, New Jersey. John Cena defeats The Rock to win his record 11th WWE Championship.
Dang.
And he's not gonna win anymore because they don't want to break Ric Flair's record. Because he's tied at 16 with Ric Flair.
Oh, dang.
Yeah.
Speaking of 16, 2016, longest ever captured python found in Penang in Malaysia, 26 feet long or 8 meters. So that's
scary.
yeah, that's like out of the movie Anaconda.
Yeah. Also, 2017, 32nd Rock and Roll Hall of Fame inductees: Joan Baez, Electric Light Orchestra, Journey, Pearl Jam, Tupac Shakur, Yes, and Nile Rodgers.
Dang, it took him that long to bring Tupac in there? Wait, hold on a second. Why is he in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? That's weird.
So it's NWA and Ice-T.
Huh.
Well, I could understand for Ice-T because he has a rock band called Body Count.
Okay, I guess that makes some sort of sense, but like,
What
does
a band
Raph not
song
have his
too.
own Hall of Fame?
Yeah, I know. But also they got a band song in their album Body Count called Cop Killer.
Anyway, 2017 as well, a truck was driven into a department store in Stockholm, killing 4 in a terror attack. So I think that was a Home Depot truck, right? Or is like I thought that was in the UK. Is that something else?
This is something else.
Okay, so this was some.
Also, 2017, U.S. President Donald Trump ordered missile strikes on Syria's airfield after a chemical weapons attack on Khan Sheikhon.
Khan! Yeah. 2018, suspected gas attack on Douma by Syrian government. Air Force killed more than 40 people and injured another 500 at least. Oh. And back to you, NBA.
Yep. 2019, return NBA legend Dirk Nowitzki, Dallas Mavericks, and Dwayne Wade, Miami Heat play their final home games, both victories. Magic Johnson essentially quits as LA Lakers president of basketball operations. Houston Rockets convert NBA record 27 three-point field goals in 143 to 113 win over Phoenix.
Nice. And here's where I saw it. 2019, Rwanda marked 25 years and the beginning of 100 days of mourning since the genocide that killed 800,000 people. Oh my God. Wow. Anyway,
that 2019 one,
yeah.
That was horrible.
Yeah.
Well, both of them. I'm gonna do both of them. 2019, okay. U.S. President Donald Trump announces Kirstjen Nielsen, Secretary of Homeland Security, is leaving her position. Also, 2019, WrestleMania 35, MetLife Stadium, East Rutherford, New Jersey. Becky Lynch beats both Raw Women's Champion Ronda Rousey and SmackDown Champion Charlotte Flair to win both titles. That was a botch ending.
That sucks. Um,
Yeah.
let's see here. 2020, Australia's highest court overturned the child sexual abuse conviction of Catholic Cardinal George Pell. I have no idea what the heck that. I don't want to research that. 2020 as well, Wisconsin held its Democratic primary with an in-person voting in the midst of the Kung Flu pandemic after mail-in voting rejected by the Wisconsin legislature. So good. 2022, Ketanji Brown Jackson became the first black woman to be confirmed by the U.S. Senate to the Supreme Court in 53 to 47 votes. I think there was someone before her, but I'm not sure. 2022, MLB Cleveland Indians lost its first game under their new name, 3-1 to the Royals in Kansas City. And last but not least, 2022, Yemeni President Abdurrabba Mansour Hadi transferred power to an 8-member council to negotiate with the Houthis in an attempt to end country's 7-year civil war. Good. Anyway, before we move on to the births and deaths, audience, were there any articles that grabbed your attention more than most? Anything you wish we had elaborated more about? Anything you would have liked to say had you been here? Start a dialogue in the comments section. I'm going to move on to the births. Mr. Sowen, you want to start us off in 1506?
I can't. I can't. I'm about to jump off.
All right. You have a good day.
You too.
Yep. 1506, we have Francois Xavier, or Francisco de Jasso, Navarrese Catholic missionary to Far East, co-founder of the Society of Jesus and Saints, born in Javier, Spain. 1652, Clement XII, Lorenzo Corsini, Italian pope from 1730 through 40, who despite ill health and total blindness in 1732, unsuccessfully stemmed the decline of papal influence, born in Florence. 1718, Hugh Blair, Scottish preacher and man of letters. What is a man of letters? Copy. What is a man of letters? A male scholar or author. Man of letters, okay. A male scholar or author. Alright, there we go. 1740, we have Haym Salomon, Polish-born U.S. broker who helped finance the U.S. Revolution, or the American Revolution, born in Leslo, Poland. All right, thank you. This guy helped finance our revolution. 1772, we have Charles Fourier, French philosopher and early socialist, credited with inventing the term feminism, born in Bescassin, France. Of course it's a French, je crois, you know. 1775, Francis Cabot Lowell, an American mill owner, founded the first raw cotton-to-cloth textile mill, born in Newburyport, Massachusetts. Walter Camp in 1859, father of U.S. football in Yale, born in New Britain, Connecticut. 1860, Will Keith Kellogg, U.S. cereal manufacturer, Kellogg cereal brand, born in Battle Creek, Michigan. 1869, David Fairchild, U.S. botanist and explorer, introduced over 200,000 plants to the U.S., born in Lansing, Michigan. 1872, William Monroe Trotter, a U.S. newspaper editor and activist for black U.S. citizen civil rights, born near Shiloh, Ohio. 1882, Kurt von Schleusner, German politician, German chancellor from 1932 through 33, murdered during the Night of the Long Knives, which was, I believe, Hitler's involvement. Born in Brandenburg and Der Havel. 1891, Ole Kirk Christensen, Danish carpenter, inventor, and toy maker, Lego Group, born in Filskov, Denmark. 1895, Louis B. Combs, a U.S. civil engineer and U.S. Navy officer from 1917 through 45. He was a founding member and commander of the Seabees, born in Manchester, Center, Vermont. So who were the Seabees? Let's check that out here. What was the Seabees? United States Naval Construction Battalions, better known as the Navy Seabees, form the U.S. Naval Construction Force. The Seabee nickname is a heterograph of the initial letters CB from the words Construction Battalion. Well, alright, look at that. Add that into the underbar of the description. Moving on up, 1911, we have Kenneth Oakley, English anthropologist, paleontologist, and geologist whose method for the relative dating of fossils using fluorine context was instrumental in exposing the Pitdown Man hoax, born in Amersham, England. Alright. We all know about the Piltdown Man, archaeology and stuff, the people cheating there too. 1918, Michael Peanuts Huko, a U.S. big band jazz and session clarinetist, Glenn Miller's Army Air Force Band Lawrence Welk Show, born in Syracuse, New York. Got Johannes Ruud, 1926, a Dutch immunologist, Eurotransplant. 1929, Joe Gallo, U.S. mobster, born in Brooklyn, New York. We're gonna be talking about him again, I believe. In deaths, there's actually like 2 or 3 people who were born and died on this date. It was kind of weird. 1931, Daniel Ellsberg was a whistleblower, Pentagon Papers, as well as a patriot. 1933, Wayne Rogers, U.S. actor for MASH from 1972 through 75. He was Captain Trapper John McIntyre in House Calls, born in Birmingham, Alabama. 1938, Jerry Brown, a U.S. politician and governor of California for the Democrat Party from 1975 through 83, and then 2011 through 19, born in San Francisco, California. And yeah, I don't know exactly why, but I know Jerry Brown was not a good guy. 1939, Francis Ford Coppola, U.S. director, The Godfather and Apocalypse Now, born in Detroit, Michigan. 1939 as well, Gary Killigren, U.S. music producer who co-founded the Record Plant Studios, born in Shenandoah, Iowa. 1945, Joël Robuchon, French chef, world record for Michelin stars at 32, born in Poitiers, France, and he died in 2018. So his record can be broken. He can't challenge you for it if you get to him. 1946, Bob Metcalfe, U.S. electrical engineer, co-inventor of Ethernet and 3Com, born in Brooklyn, New York. Thank you for that. 1952, Bruce Gary, U.S. rock drummer, The Knack, Ma Sharona, born in Burbank, California. I like that song. 1954, Jackie Chan, Hong Kong martial arts actor, Rumble in the Bronx, born in Hong Kong. He's also a very strong supporter of the CCP, so keep that in mind. 1956, Christopher Darden, U.S. O.J. Simpson prosecutor. So, yep. 1964, Russell Crowe, an Australian-New Zealand actor, A Beautiful Mind, and Gladiator, among others, born in Wellington, New Zealand. 1985, we have Husma Yousaf, is a Scottish politician, SNP leader and Scottish First Leader-elect, first Muslim to lead a major UK political party, born in Glasgow, Scotland. Moving on up into deaths, we have Jesus Christ, the year 30, crucified according to astronomer Schaefer. Once again, today is Good Friday. 924, we have Berengarius I, Emperor of Italy, was murdered. 1498, one hell of a time jump there, Charles VIII, King of France from 1483 until 98, who invaded Italy, died after hitting his head on a door lintel at 27. Well, that's a crappy way to die. What's a door lintel? Let's see here. So he hit his head on that, and then he died. Was he like at full sprint or something? We also have 1663, Francis Cook, Mayflower Pilgrim, died at approximately the age of 80. We have Dick Turpin, 1739, an English highwayman who was hanged. So he lived up to his name, he really was a dick. 1789, Petrus Camber, Dutch astronomist and anthropologist who studied cooperative anatomy, paleontology, and the facial angle, died at 66. The facial angle. What is the facial angle? I have not heard about that. Facial angle. Ah, okay. Facial angle refers to the content of 2 lectures on this subject by the Amsterdam professor of anatomy, Petrus Camper, on the 1st and 8th of August in 1770 to the Amsterdam Drawing Academy called the Tekken Academy. Okay, so it does have something to do with the face, I think. Link to that wiki is in the underbar of the description below. Moving on up to 1803, Toussaint Louverture was a Haitian general, revolutionary, and most famous of the leaders of the Haitian Revolution, died while in prison in France at about the age of 59. 1883, we have Jacques Charles, Jacques Alexandre César Charles, French inventor and balloonist, with Nicolas Rover, was first to take flight in a hydrogen balloon. All right. 1868, Thomas D'Arcy McGee, Irish-Canadian journalist and father of Confederation, died at 42. 1891, P.T. Barnum, a U.S. circus promoter and showman, Barnum and Bailey, died at the age of 80. Year 1900, we have Frederick Edwin Church, U.S. romantic landscape painter, Hudson River School, died at 73. Let's take a look at that painting here. Hold on. Hudson River School painting. Oh yeah, well, we've seen this. Somebody else had this in their resume. So now there's 2 people. Hold on a second. Hudson River School, Thomas Cole. It's the same one. So maybe they worked on it together? I'm not sure. Anyway, let's move on up to 1932. We have Irv A. Kelly, U.S. policeman who was shot to death by Pretty Boy Floyd, the gangster. 1934, William Monroe Trotter, U.S. newspaper editor and activist for black U.S. citizen civil rights, died from a fall from his roof on his 62nd birthday. So there's the other one, William Monroe Trotter. We spoke about him earlier. 1947, Henry Ford, U.S. industrialist and automaker, Ford Model T, died at the age of 83. 1970, Josiana Machel, Mozambican independence activist and wife of Mozambique's first presidential Samora Machel, first president Samora Machel, died at the age of 25. Here we go again, Joe Gallo, 1972, a U.S. mobster murdered at his 43rd birthday party by rival mobsters. That's not too nice. 1972, Abid Karum, a Tanzanian sheikh/president who was murdered. 1977, Sigrid Bubak, German federal prosecutor, assassinated by far leftist militant group Red Army faction at the age of 57. 1981, we got Christopher Kit Lambert, British record producer and manager of The Who, died of a cerebral hemorrhage at 45. So I'm not talking about the World Health Organization, I'm talking about the band The Who. 1986, Leonid Kantrovich, Russian Soviet economist, father of linear programming, Nobel Prize for Economics in 1975, died at the age of 74. So linear programming, let's take a look at that real quick. Linear programming, mathematical modeling technique in which a linear function is maximized or minimized when subjugated to various constraints. This technique has been useful for guiding quantitative discussions in business planning, in industrial engineering, and, to a lesser extent, in the social and physical sciences. Dang. So I'm going to add that Wikipedia the underbar to the description. Badoop. Badoop. There we go. Moving on up to 1994, we have Agathe Uwilingiyimana, Prime Minister of Rwanda from 1993 through 1994, and one of the first female political figures in Africa, assassinated by the Presidential Guard in the opening stages of the Rwanda genocide at the age of 40. Yikes. 1994 as well, Lee Brilleau, British rhythm and blues singer, harmonica player, and guitarist, Dr. Feelgood, dies of lymphoma at 41. 1997, Georgy Shonin, Soviet cosmonaut aboard the Soyuz 6, died of a heart attack at the age of 61. Angus Patton, 1999, an English civil engineer, wrote Economic and Infrastructure Report for Canada and Syria hydroelectric dams, died at the age of 93. Did I not get this guy? I got that guy. 2001, David Graff, U.S. actor, Police Academy, Sergeant Eugene Tackleberry, died of a heart attack at the age of 50. 2002, John Egger, U.S. actor, Sands of Iwo Jima and Fort Apache, died at 81. John Egger, I've seen Sands of Iwo Jima quite a bit, so let's see, who is he in Sands of Iwo Jima? Sands of Iwo Jima. Oh, okay, he was that guy, okay. Let's see here, we have 2009, Dave Arneson, U.S. game designer, Dungeons & Dragons, died of cancer at 61. 2010, George Nissen, U.S. inventor, created the trampoline, died at 96. 2012, Mike Wallace, U.S. journalist and media personality, biography in 60 Minutes, died of natural causes at 93. That's a very rare way to die anymore these days. And then, last but not least, we have Ann Beats, died on this date 2 years ago, 2021, was a U.S. comedy writer for National Lampoon Vacation, Saturday Night Live, 1975 through 79, and Square Pegs, died at the age of 74. And that shall conclude the show. Once again, you can check the underbar of the description for links you may find interesting, including but not limited to all things Omni Coalition. For your dose of past events daily, we stream every day at 10 in the morning Pacific Time, which is 11 Mountain, 12 Central, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. For all of you and all of us, I'm A.O. Xander. Sohan was in the show for the main body, and you, audience member, are you. And until you catch us tomorrow, don't forget to look right and left at every intersection, rate 5 thumbs, and subscribe. Toodles!